FightNetRadio.com with Andrew and Lee. Talking boxing, combat, sports, comedy, football, and everything kick-ass. All on FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net Radio!
LasVegasDiscount.net's the best there is. Save up to 50% on your next Vegas trip. And travel, rental, shows, and tours. Find the deals you're looking for. LasVegasDiscount.net. LasVegasDiscount.net. If you're going to Vegas for deals that are the best, visit LasVegasDiscount.net.
Hola, soy Julio Chavez.
And lights out, baby. Lights out all day.
This is Sugar Ray Leonard, and you listen to Fight Net Radio.
I mean, this is ridiculous. It's a radio show. It ain't a one-hour television spectacular.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
We gon' know. I got eyes and ears everywhere. I got friends all over the world, man.
Who gives a shit with White? He's a piece of crap.
Hi, this is Manny Pacquiao. I'll fight anybody on FightNetRadio.com.
You are listening to Ken Norton on Fight Net Radio. And I've been thinking that I would come out of retirement just to knock out Lee Honey.
Damn it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio. Lee Honish, Andrew Labouche. I'm actually coming to you live, Andrew, from the PBC press conference. What is it? Jarrett Hurd and Tony Harrison, right? The rematch, right? Saturday, right? Did I get that right?
No,
I didn't really pay attention.
No, I
whatever.
Think it was just a press conference announcing their fight.
Yeah, I'm there. Oh, shit. I can't believe it when that shit happens at their press conferences, Andrew. Well, that's another PBC press conference for you, Andrew. Now, the reason that's not funny to Andrew at this moment is because it took forever to set up this bit. My computer shit on me while I was setting up the bit. If any of you found great joy in that for 5 seconds, it's Hurd. Hurd's trying to get his belt back on Saturday, right? Is that the
that's the one. Yeah.
Because he got his ass kicked on national TV for sleeping against somebody he should have beaten. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Fight Net Radio.
You're all over the place. Yeah, you're all over the place.
I'm not all over the place, dude.
Yes, you are, dude, because Charlo Harrison, their press conference,
right?
Their press conference happened, and them two started kissing. Now, they're announcing their rematch. But Jarrett Hurd is fighting Williams.
Hurd and Harrison. It's Hurd and
Williams.
Williams, there you go. Yeah, they had their final press conference today. That was the joke I was going for. That was paparazzi sound effects with the gunfire and the sirens.
Why gunfire, Lee?
It's a PBC press conference.
Oh, my gosh.
I've got coffee, Andrew. I'm good to go.
Let's
go to FightNetRadio.com. Sign up, click on Facebook or on our YouTube page. Watch the videos. We do this via video and audio for your pleasure. Also, visit our sponsor page at LasVegasDiscount.com. Save on your next trip to Las Vegas. We'll be talking about that shortly because, sadly, a Top Rank event is being managed by Magna Media, and I'm very sad about it, Andrew.
You should try to go through Top Rank.
I'm probably going to once they deny me. With all of that said, let's get started. Today we will be using BoxingNews24.com, just trying something new. I've reversed engineered it, so some of these stories will get updated later on. I just think they're funny the way people report shit, and then it gets updated throughout the week. But we'll be using, shout out to BoxingNews24.com. Andrew, they do very well. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you can actually see their ranking on Alexa. They do very well. They do much better than pound for pound. I was going to use pound for pound just to get a shout out to our boy Bill, but the fucking guy doesn't update stories.
Yeah, no.
He's literally phoning it in at this point. considering that he gets zero traffic, I'm trying not to shit on him because at one point he had a pretty powerful website and now he does not. Let's start with May the 5th, Andrew. De La Hoya, on the night of getting hammer-faced and his boy winning the fight, he decided after the fight that he would announce all of the potential opponents. Joining us live, still in Las Vegas, Andrew, is CEO of Golden Boy Promotion and your favorite person on the planet, Oscar De La Hoya.
Hey, Andrew. What's up?
Hey.
Been here all week, bro. Been here all week.
My woman left. I've been hitting all the strip clubs and shit.
It's pretty cool. So, do you want to hear who I want him to fight?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, he's not fighting this Triple G dude again. Okay, you got that straight?
Mm-hmm.
You understand the reason why?
No.
Fuckface, you don't understand?
No.
Listen, I'll explain it, okay? He doesn't have a fucking belt.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yes,
Jesus
this is...
Christ, don't you pay attention to the news, bro? All right, first of all, I would like him to fight Demetrius Andrade.
Yeah,
no particular reason. I just like saying Andrade.
Well, he's undefeated WBO title. That was a good start.
As you will find out in stories later on, since this is the future and the past, just like Avengers Endgame, Andrew, that's what this is right now. You're literally in the middle of an episode of the Avengers Endgame. Okay? Because I know the future right now. Okay? I know it's blowing your fucking mind. But get this, bro. I want him to fight Callum Smith. When we jump ahead like 8 stories, guess who he's going to fight? Okay, I don't want to spoil Avengers Endgame, but Tony Stark dies. See, I'm the dick who did it.
Damn. Did you really do that?
What do you think about Sergey Kovalev? I like that fight. What do you like?
I don't think he'll be around by the time Canelo's ready to be a light heavyweight.
He got a belt, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have a belt by the time Canelo's a light heavyweight.
Okay, let's try this one out. I want him to fight King Kong. How do you feel about King Kong, bro?
Luis Ortiz, the heavyweight? You're stretching now a little.
King Kong, the fucking 8. All right. I know you guys all want that Triple G fight. Fuck, I've been drinking a lot lately. How about this? Thor. I'm going to get like fat Liam Hemsworth. You know the Thor dude? Oh, spoiler alert. Thor's fat in the fucking movie too. I just keep fucking that movie up for people. Not going with any of this, are you? You just want Triple G, don't you? You're like the rest of them, aren't you?
No, actually, I want Demetrius Andrade.
I'm gonna get your address from the white guy, and I'm gonna kick your ass, bro.
I want Demetrius Andrade. He's undefeated. He has a title. Andrade. I'm sorry. Yes, you are right.
I was drinking with him the other night. He says Andrade, but he says it's really fucking funny that he makes everybody say Andrade.
That will be the fight, I believe. It will happen.
That was Oscar De La Hoya, CEO of Golden Boy Entertainment, joining us live. So on the night of the fight, he literally rolls off everybody but Triple G, right? He and Eric Gomez are doing this bullshit. And yes, this is like an episode of Avengers Endgame for any of you who keep up on the news. I know the spoiler alert that's about to happen, but I think it's bullshit that they're avoiding Triple G. I get why they don't want to fight him. That's a bad fight for Canelo, dude. It's a bad fight. It's a bad fight.
No one ever he doesn't have to fight him for the third time. There's nowhere in this Mayweather didn't fight Castillo 3 times. He didn't fight Madonna 3 times.
Look, I'm not saying that, but don't keep hanging we really want to fight him, but he doesn't have a belt. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? That's the most bullshit answer on the planet.
It's strap season.
Yeah, okay, I get the whole.
Yeah,
hold on. Joining us from Vegas, from his suite again, is Oscar De La Hoya, Golden Boy CEO.
Hey, bro. You know what it is? Scrap season. I just wanted to say it too.
I know.
I don't know why everybody loves Oscar the most. Of all the shit I do on this show, Andrew, why do you and everybody else enjoy Oscar?
Well, you sound like him a lot. I will give you that. You do very good with Oscar.
No way I said. You want to know who I'm really doing? You want to know who I'm doing?
Maybe. Go ahead.
Okay. No. You know who I'm really... It's all right. It's not really Oscar that I'm doing. I mean, I realize what I'm doing. It's not like I can't hear myself because I'm a deaf motherfucker, but I guess I like the fact that he's belligerent all the time. I like the fact that I've turned him into this. Bob is a lecherous old man. Oscar is a caricature of this. He's really pissed off at you all the time. I don't know why he hates you, but it's hilarious to me that he doesn't like any of your answers. That to me is the funniest part of the bit. Like, I can't push it far enough in my mind where Oscar's just angry at you. It's like that Penn and Teller thing. Everybody, the truth is, Teller's the guy who comes up with all the crazy ideas that grosses everybody out, but everybody's mad at Penn. That's great. That's not how it works. Teller's the one who came up with the idea. I'm just telling you how it works, man. You guys should really pay attention to this show. Andrew is the mastermind here. It's not me. He's the one who called Andy Olson all the names, not me.
Oh, shit.
Shout out to Magna Media. They'll probably be listening to the show.
Did you bring? I don't want to jump around here, and you have the story already. Are we talking numbers today?
Yeah, we will. I'm just doing them in order of the stories as they appeared from May 5th forward. That's my new reporting style, Andrew.
Yeah, but okay. Well, I can bounce around here though, because De La Hoya really needs Andrade. He needs Andrade. They need to fight in Mexico. They need to add a 100,000 seat arena on Mexican Independence weekend, right in September. Lee, the numbers weren't good. The DAZN's reporting.
Okay, we're gonna jump there, huh? All right, hold on.
You gotta.
I'm pulling it up. Why do you think 1.2 is a bad number?
Because it's the world. That's not America. That's the world.
Considering that they haven't released.
He fuckface.
Oh yeah. Listen, come on. 1.2. Seriously, let's get on. Hey, listen.
When's the last time you and that Fight Net Radio shit did 1.2 million views of anything?
Not last month.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Did 1.2 million last week, actually. That's not the point, fucker. 1.2 million views. You think Mayweather ever did 1.2 million views?
Oh, yeah. Listen, this is where they're going to get saved. They're reporting that DAZN sold the rights to this in Mexico. Did you hear anything about that?
I did not. Should I read the story and see what it all says?
There you go.
This is written by Aragon Garcia. Last Saturday night, the fight between middleweight champion. By the way, this is coming to us from Boxing News 24. Visit boxingnews24.com because Pound for Pound doesn't update their stories. Last Saturday night's fight between middleweight champion Saul Canelo Alvarez and Daniel Jacobs was a huge success. Oh, this is a propaganda piece. With over 1.2 million viewers watching the fight across the globe on streaming service DAZN, spelled DAZN. The Canelo Jacobs fight was gauged as a success by DAZN. The fight was seen in 8 territories and brought in new subscriptions that surpassed 48 million paid out to Canelo and Jacob for their headlining fight, according to Dan Rayfield, the fattest man in boxing. With the rapid amount of boxing fans that are subscribing to DAZN to watch the compelling fight they stream, the company expected to do well as time goes by and increasingly more fans subscribe. The fight was seen by a mix of fans with subscription plans that were 20 monthly and 100 yearly. In the U.S. alone, that was 600,000 streams. The WBA, WBC middleweight champion Canelo Alvarez put on a great display. Blah, blah, blah. Canelo made 35 million and Jacobs made close to 15 million. Jacobs was fined roughly 1 million for missing the weight. The 10-pound rehydration clause, blah, blah, blah. This was Canelo's second fight of his 11-fight contract. Blah, blah, blah. his first fight, blah, blah, blah. DAZN is reportedly interested in seeing Canelo fight Gennady Golovkin. But according to Oscar De La Hoya, who just appeared on Fight Net Radio, he said, that's not happening, bro. Canelo versus Jacobs was seen in the following countries. Who wrote this propaganda piece?
No,
this
but
is a serious. This is a propaganda piece.
Oh my gosh.
All right, go ahead.
I don't know. Keep reading. I mean, you see, Mexico's not on there. They said 30
Austria,
over 30.
Canada, Japan, Italy, Spain, United States, and Switzerland. They're not saying shit about Mexico, bro.
Yeah,
so
they said they sold the rights. I guess they can sell the rights to the. Well, ain't that kind of double-ending the deal? Not only are you
no, it's not, and I'll tell you why. In streaming,
Wait a minute. Now in Mexico, they already had DAZN, so these people have been watching boxing and soccer probably on it, and now they're taking it off of the app and putting it on the television. So why did the people buy the app?
Andrew, I just sent a text, and again, joining us live from his suite in Las Vegas, Nevada, is Oscar De La Hoya, CEO of Golden Boy Entertainment, to explain to us exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's not what I'm trusting.
Can't get enough of me?
Yeah, I can't.
You like it, don't you?
No.
You're a bad boy, aren't you, Andrew?
What?
Come on, say it. You're a dirty boy.
Hey, let's go. Where are we going with this?
All right, I'm going to explain how I can sell the rights to Mexico, eh? You
Okay.
ready? First of all, you need a Steven Espinosa calculator. Do you have one of those? Do you have a Steven Espinosa calculator?
No.
I gave them out of stocking stuffers this year to all of my fighters. All right. Secondly, streaming is not the same as being on cable, eh? Which means I can sell it off however the fuck I want. That makes me a fucking genius, doesn't it? It's not a part of the initial contract. So on the internet is seen as one subscription to blind. So I have the rights to put it on as pay-per-view. I can sell the rights to Mexico, and I can get 12 cents from those people in the Philippines if somebody wants to fight, say, a Filipino guy. They don't pay very much in the Philippines, Andrew. Much like Mexico, but at least they scraped together a little bit of that drug money, and I made a couple of $1 million from that deal. Does that make sense to you now?
Thank you, Golden Boy CEO Oscar De La Hoya. Why does it bother you so much that they sold the rights off and you think it's double dipping?
No, why do you mean bother? I didn't say it would bother me. It's a great business. So
it's
now
it's because the internet is literally seen, and I already know this.
I wish the number was a little bit bigger, though. The 1.2 is not that impressive, Lee. I don't know why you're acting like that's an impressive number.
Okay,
I don't
because
think
that's the number of subscribers. Because I can do math on this.
Lee, wait a minute. They said 26 million watched Rocky Fielding. Do you understand that? 26 million. It was number one in the apps that weekend. Now, was that Rocky Fielding's UK fan base?
Maybe. And here's the other thing we're not taking into consideration, right? They did raise their prices.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, so what was the? We don't know their actual numbers because they're not a United States-based company, so I'm not ever going to.
Well, they said 600,000, bro. They said 600,000.
Okay,
so you can do the math. Do half and half. I mean, you know.
I don't know what their real drop-off rate was from when they started this program at whatever it was, $9 a month, and then they doubled up the price, and then they offered the $100 deal, and so they get a big jump when they put on Canelo. And again, I'm going to say this. I don't think Canelo's the big star that we're constantly making Canelo out to be. I think that's a fighter. And you internet fucking geeks don't hate me for saying this. Canelo is a fight fan fighter. He's not a mainstream. He's not a Manny Pacquiao. He's not a Manny Pacquiao yet. He's not a Floyd Mayweather yet. He's just not, Andrew.
Yeah, I don't know if I could agree with you on that one, man.
I'm not saying
he made 35 million.
No,
he's the highest paid athlete in the sports world now.
They're betting on that, but I'm still saying that he's not there yet.
I think there has to be some stats that made DAZN go, you know what? Let's bet the house on this kid.
They're betting it on Mexico and the U.S., and that's where they're basing it. Look, they've already got international sewn up, right? You can put dog shit on for DAZN in Europe, and like their card for Saturday is horseshit, right? I mean, Eddie Hearn is literally putting on a horseshit card.
Well, that's Eddie Hearn, and people have already been saying Eddie Hearn might find himself out of the DAZN contract when it's up because he's not coming through right now. But that's Eddie Hearn. That's not De La Hoya. Ryan Garcia. That's not Saul Alvarez.
You're asking the good question, which is, what does this Saturday's Eddie Hearn UK specific card, right? How many views does that do as compared to the Canelo fight? That's what I'd like to know. Here's a better question. Okay, let's see what the numbers come out to be. Let's table this discussion, Andrew, till after Joshua against Joshua's fight at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, Andy
Ruiz. Right.
So, but Joshua has fought on DAZN. He fought Parker and Povetkin, I believe.
Yeah.
So they should have some numbers of what Joshua's done on DAZN with Povetkin, but who knows?
And if you're leaving out the Mexico numbers, then this number's off. The entire country of Mexico watched Canelo.
It was over 30 million.
Right.
They said over 30 million TVs watched them over there. So
right. So why aren't you calling it 31.2? Or are you just saying?
I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know why DAZN went this route with it. The 1.2 is not that impressive. I guess when you're saying 600,000 streams, all right, if half of them bought it for 100, that's 300 million, right? They made right there. So they would have Canelo's contract paid up in year 2 with some change. So maybe that's why they're calling it a great success. Lee, we come in a world. I just thought the streaming, I expected 26 million views every single time. If that's how many people, and I don't even know where that comes from now. So far, that sounds just bogus. When you see this one, that was a way better fight. Daniel Jacobs and Canelo was a better fight than Rocky Fielding and Canelo. 1.2 million. I think I called bullshit on the last report with the Rocky Fielding. I don't know how they became the #1 app in America that weekend, but that means it was a letdown. That the people that tuned in
I know for a fact because the WWE just did quarterly earnings, and they took it in the ass because they had a drop in subscribers and viewers after WrestleMania. They didn't get the numbers that they got last year or the previous year, right? And when you're talking hundreds of thousands of people not paying that $10 a month, it's an epic loss. If you're saying to me, this is a very carefully worded piece, to say the very least, right? Excuse me. I'm like having lunch come back up on me and those tacos I made.
It's a lot of money. 48 million is a lot of money.
Yeah, I get it. I'm with you, and I understand what they're doing. The strategic fact that they left out Mexico on this makes a big difference, certainly, right? I don't know necessarily where they're trying to go with this report. I guess if you're looking at it from, we did 1.2 million viewers on DAZN. If you're saying that as a blanketed sentence, Andrew, it's not that bad. At $20 a pop, it's not that bad.
That's $20 a month though, so that would be $240 for the year.
Yeah, it works out to, most people probably paid the $100 because that's the best deal. Probably in the pocket of DAZN, they paid off. What was his overall contract? What did he get? 300 or 400 million?
365.
Okay, so if his one fight picked up, or they did 1.2 million, I don't know how many viewers they had going into that fight. I don't know what they picked up. I mean, if you're basing it on 1.2 million viewers and all those people paid $100 a month, one fight generating $100 million by itself, Andrew, and you're not talking about the rights to Mexico, which I'm gonna guess is got to be in the range of 20 to 50 million dollars.
You know another one that's missing from the list. Go down to that list where they showed on the DAZN where they showed the territory. Okay, where's the UK?
Right.
So they sold the UK rights probably to Sky Sports.
Sky Sports. So that's another 50 million.
Right?
So if we stop looking at boxing, all right, here's what we're saying. Do you want me to have Oscar explain it? Because he's still standing by.
Come on, you're gonna kill him with that.
All right. So I'm just looking at this from a objective standpoint, Andrew. If we remove how many people actually watch it, right? And boxing is only about how much money did the fight generate. Can we do it that way?
Yeah.
Is that going to be acceptable to you?
Yeah.
All right. So let's say realistically on DAZN, it generated, based on their crazy Espinosa calculator, $100 million, right? With new subscribers and everything, eyes on the product. In their mind, it's $100 million from DAZN. You sell Sky Sports for, let's go relatively inexpensively, and say they only paid Sky Sports all of Europe. That had to be $100 million by itself. Had to be, Andrew.
I know.
If you're talking all of Europe, let's say they bought the rights for 50 to 100 million for a fight, right? Because they could generate that much in ad revenue. It's like the Super Bowl, for God's sake. But we'll go low. Let's say 50 million. Mexico, no doubt, if you're getting 30 million people to watch it on television and they're doing a replay on it, they're paying a minimum of 50 million. You're at 200 million without discussing actual pay-per-view, which I guarantee they sold for dumbasses who still have satellite or what other funky ass service they have available, right? And whatever other countries they sold services off to. Let's just go with a rough number. Would it be fair to say that this fight somewhere in the neighborhood generated around $300 million?
They're missing two major boxing locations.
I agree, and we're not looking at all the revenue funnels, certainly, and we're not talking about replay rights that they could probably sell somewhere down the road to somebody else and everything else. But let's just go with a relative number and say this fight by itself generated for DAZN, Golden Boy, Eddie Hearn, however their split works, whatever the fuck that is, right? Because I don't understand it. I don't know if it all goes back to DAZN, because ultimately they're the ones who paid the contract and really made the fight. But whatever the case, let's say it's $300 million, right? That's one fight, and they got him for 11 more fights, 10 more fights. Jesus Christ, this is the best bet on the planet.
Now you know why he's fighting Andrade in Mexico next?
Right. So wait, you're doing the future shit again from Endgame.
Oh, sorry.
Stay on the current timeline. Is that the part in the movie where you got most confused when they started discussing? Are you telling me that every time travel movie is wrong?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good one.
How do you know this? Hot Tub Time Machine? Okay.
That's why I know. Hey, that's why I was so lost with the Tony Stark thing at the end, but I guess because he used... I won't say it.
What? When Cap became an old man? You need an explanation of the movie and me to give out more spoilers?
Why he became an old
or
man.
should we discuss when?
I said the timeline. When Cap goes and puts them back in the right places, in the right zone, I thought he where the future would stay the same. Remember?
Right. Here's the thing in the Marvel universe, not to get off on a tangent. Everybody go watch Spider-Man in the Multiverse.
I seen that highlights.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's multiple timelines running all the time, Andrew. There are multiple timelines in the Marvel universe running all the time. They're actually basing it on quantum mechanics, and they're using there's good video on YouTube for anybody who's interested. We're on a tangent. So if we relatively say that this fight generated $300 million for a B-level opponent, would it not behoove us to believe that a fight with Triple G would generate $500 or $600 million ultimately for DAZN, who's popping the paycheck on this whole thing?
According to ESPN Deportes, it was viewed by 30.5 million fans.
Well, that makes it true. Do they have like a Dan Rayfield in
ESPN Deportes? Yes, that does make it true. Television. It was on TV Azteca and Televisa.
Do they have Rafael Daniel?
No.
Wouldn't it be great if he had bad Spanish and he was actually doing ESPN Deportes? Why is he so fat, dude? Sorry. I'm obsessed with him being that fat and covering boxing.
Who? Oh, Rafael.
Well, that and most of the boxing trainers seem to be really fat too. Have you ever noticed that?
So that's where Canelo's extra money comes in. Do you know that, Lee?
Dude, this is 300.
So
I'm telling you,
no,
relatively speaking.
Lee, on he gets the new subscribers. He gets a piece of that from the streaming app. Sky Sports, TV Azteca, and Televisa. They're all paying him.
Right.
So he made 35 million because of the streaming app. What did he make because of the TV, the Sky? Oh,
I don't know
man.
if those are side. I don't know how the side deals of that contract work. I don't know what his deal with Oscar is. This is he's the first guy. Okay, so again, this is somewhat of a tangent, but stay with me. Do you remember CM Punk, Andrew?
Who?
CM Punk, WWE, before he became an MMA fighter.
Yes.
Okay, so the reason he left the WWE is because they were going over to the streaming app, and he actually asked Vince, he's like, how do we get our bonuses? Like, our bonuses are based on pay-per-view, and now we're on the streaming app, and Vince kind of did the, buddy, we'll work it out later on. Okay, well, Canelo's kind of the first guy who worked it all out, bro. Like, he got the streaming deal, and he's getting a piece of all the other deals. Right, he's making crazy money.
He's making crazy money. Big success on Saturday night. Look for them to take this kid to the biggest arena Mexico City has, 100,000 people. Eddie Hearn loves those type of crowds. They'll get De La Hoya to do it. He'll do 30 million there. They'll do the same damn thing. Sky Sports will air it. North America will get it on the app, and they'll let it roll again. He's not that big of a star everywhere else. Germany, Italy, Switzerland, all of these guys combined for only 600,000 buys together. So they got to kind of pick up Canelo's popularity in there. But if he starts booming in those other countries because of this app where they get to see a lot more exposure of Canelo Alvarez, what a gold mine this was.
Kudos to him. Look,
and how stupid.
On the right guy. Look,
if you were a man who could have made 120 million for 4 fucking fights. 4, Lee.
Well,
who is advising this man?
Here's the funny part of all this, right? If I'm Floyd Mayweather and I'm looking at all these numbers, or somebody finally brought me all the numbers, and I'm not even saying that Floyd doesn't somehow magically have his head up the ass of Steven Espinoza. He's like, bro, if you come back, I'll get you that kind of money. I don't know how Espinoza sounds.
They can't.
They can't. You can't.
They cannot do it.
Cannot, because it's not on the web, so you can't sell the third parties. Like, I knew this. Okay, this, again, another tangent, Andrew, but at least I'm calling him now. When we first did radio, right, we had a Sirius XM possibility for Fight Net Radio. And I said, that's cool, but not everybody has it. I want to be able to turn it into a podcast, which was still relatively new. And radio didn't seem to give a shit about it. Like Free FM, CBS didn't seem to give a shit about me putting it on the internet because they didn't grasp it yet. Sirius, on the other hand, wanted to own their content. And that's why you see all those guys who have shit like Howard Stern or any of the other shows on Sirius, they don't stream out on the internet. They don't want the content going beyond. We have to look at boxing now as content on a platform. So DAZN bought content on a platform based on its exposure range, and these are the countries we have exposure range in and where we'll expose it to. That doesn't preclude them, good word, bro, preclude, from them, say, not doing it in the UK and selling it to Sky Sports, right? It doesn't preclude them from turning it off and putting it on in Mexico. They're putting it on so that they have the widest viewers and the highest payday. And I believe at the bottom of this funnel is DAZN. I believe that. Kudos to DAZN.
Yeah. No, it really does seem
and
like
I'm saying, relatively speaking, they made $300 million based on the numbers we're looking at. And if none of that makes sense, at the end of the day,
the UK and Mexico paid for this shit. They literally paid up front. Everyone else paid on a streaming app. That's serious money, and that's money Canelo's making, I'm telling you, because they said it when they signed him. Oscar told everyone, this is just a guarantee. This is not all he's going to make.
Oh,
and
no.
they're not lying. And I want to know.
Extra $50 million off of this fight, I'd be shocked.
I want to know what would Deontay have made? He's the heavyweight champ
here
of
we
the
go
world.
again.
He's the heavyweight champ of the world, Lee.
He's going to fight
40.
Brazil, and they're going to
Oh,
release
I know
those
that.
numbers,
I
and they're going to
know
be
what he's
pathetic.
going to do. I know what he's going to do. But where was this deal? Did they tell him this? Did they tell him your pay-per-view
this is
would
like
be
the
on Sky?
Ortiz thing. They keep their fighters all bundled up. They just keep you running around like they treat it like a Donald Trump press conference, right? Bro, it's fake news. They're not really offering you that money. It's fake news. It's fake news.
Did you see our boy dodging frisbees in the gym?
No, not yet.
I sent it to you, Lee. I hate when you don't watch what I send you. He's dodging frisbees in the gym now.
That's important training, Andrew.
Frisbee!
As a promoter. You're just telling me about the next video I'm making. By the way, we officially promote a fighter. I'm not releasing it because I don't have him under contract. And I literally stole a fighter. Stole a fighter, Andrew. In fact, my coach said these exact words. Do you have a contract on this guy? Because the minute he fights, somebody's going to try to sign him. I said, yeah, I know.
Better work that out.
I literally had it dropped in my lap. It was one of those. I said, this is the quick insight to being a fight promoter. And I got lucky because I did an interview and I met the guy and I'm friends with his family. And the rest, we trained him last night with our advanced line. He beat everybody up. He did very well. For a guy who's out of shape, he hung in all the way and he has the right attitude. He's one of those smiling, happy people. I loved it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Can't wait to announce it. He'll be on every show, by the way.
Very nice.
We'll be promoting him on every single show we do from here on out.
Or MMA?
MMA. Let's stay on the topic of De La Hoya and Canelo. Because not keeping the multiverse correct, Andrew, let's rewind now from today back 2 days ago when De La Hoya is already starting negotiations on Spence, which makes even no sense unless you take into account that joining us from Las Vegas, from his suite, Andrew, is CEO Oscar De La Hoya.
Hey, it's 2 days ago, eh? More of that endgame shit. You want me to tell you about, Natalie dying? But, am I just giving away all the spoilers, eh?
Okay, so listen. He's going to fight Spence next, even though I know in the future he's going to fight somebody else.
What the fuck?
Right? So fucking confusing, that fucking endgame.
I needed people to explain it to me. It was complicated. I didn't see any of the other movies. I just watched that one, and it was fucking confusing as all get out. So, 2 days ago, I said in a press statement, I'm going to start negotiating for Spence, which makes no fucking sense. I can't even do it because it's so ridiculous. This is Oscar in Vegas being drunk, right? I'm going to start the ball rolling, he said as a quote. I am letting you know that we love the fight, as well as I've always said that Errol Spence is one of the most talented fighters out there, said De La Hoya to Dan Rayfield. There is no reason why Spence can't move up. Were they at a buffet together in Vegas? How did this shit go down, Andrew? Does Oscar just pick up the phone and go, I know, I'm going to call Dan Rayfield and tell him some crazy shit and see if he'll actually print it. Everybody on the planet knows who he's fighting next, right? This isn't, we all know the punchline to the joke, right?
I like that they did it, but yes, I understand. I know what you mean. They're just using Spence's name to get Canelo out there on the news. Right? He's not going to fight Spence. He's doing it because everyone would click on this. This is a hot story.
Right.
It's a hot story for boxing. But no, I don't see Spence accepting that fight at all.
Because literally on the same day he does that crazy shit from a buffet in Las Vegas, Callum Smith, who's already been approached based on the reports, if you look at the UK, and I saw some stuff out of the UK today, this Callum Smith fight with Canelo is all but, this is the deal. This is the fight. For those of you wondering, here's the spoiler alert. He's fighting Callum Smith. We know it. The UK knows it because they're ahead in the future. Keep up with the quantum mechanics of this show, Andrew. Apparently, in the real timeline today, if you Google it, the UK is reporting this as it is an absolute truism. I don't know how they do that. but apparently they're on a different time thing. I'm so confused by Endgame, Andrew. He says he's defending the WBA super welterweight against Saul Canelo Alvarez. This is from 2 days ago. By the way, again, in my research today, I know that all the other names have come up, but everybody's basically reporting that Callum Smith is next for Saul Canelo Alvarez. Andrew, reaction.
Nah, I don't think he's next. I know Smith wants it. Everyone wants to fight Saul right now. He's big money. Seen Jacobs just made $15 million fighting him. So they want to do this fight in the UK. They, once again, to sell a lot of seats. I don't know if he's ready for this fight right now. They've got 11 fights, Lee. This kid is 28, I believe. Canelo's 28, 29. There's no need to rush. They're going to plan this thing out, play this thing out. I think Andrade is going to get his call. He's the perfect opponent. He's undefeated. He's been there. I told you last week. He's fought on all the networks, Showtime, ESPN, HBO. This kid has bounced around. So look for him to get the call. It's another great payday. It's another belt. It's another shiny object to put around Canelo's waist when he walks in the ring. It has all the right reasons to do the fight. Callum Smith is a great fight. He's not known in America. It would be good if they maybe put Callum Smith on an undercard or surround him on Canelo's next fight. Put him the week before or the week after. Put him in the UK. Get 100,000 in there. Then have him challenge Saul. If the fight happened right now, don't think there would be that much of an interest around in America for this fight. There would be a lot of people scratching their head on who Callum Smith is.
Right, but again, if you're just looking to cash it all in, right?
He's not that type of guy, though. He's a big man. He's undefeated. And look at, and I know Andre's undefeated too, Lee, but we have a little bit more homework done on Andre. We know him a little more. And he ain't elite. I think we could say that. I think the jury's out on Demetrius. That he's not an elite fighter, or someone would have stuck with this kid already. He's there. He grinds them out. He's gotten his wins a lot against B-level opponents. Hasn't beaten anyone in the top elites yet. There's a lot of reasons to pick him. And there's a lot of fans in America that know who DeAndre is and would like Jacobs, thinks that he deserves his shot. That was one of the biggest reasons why I had no issue with Canelo fighting Daniel Jacobs, even though I talked myself out of that fight. They all wanted to see it. A lot of the fight fans thought Jacobs beat Triple G and he deserved a shot at a title, and damn it, Canelo gave it to him. DeAndre is in the same boat, or Andrade on. Yeah, Andrade. He's in the same boat, so I think he gets the call for September in Mexico City, 100,000 seat venue. What is it? The Bull Ring? Is it the Bull Ring? Azteca? What's it called? Azteca Stadium, right? Is it Azteca Stadium that Chavez fought in?
Yes.
See,
and Julio, as I like to call it, a place where you might get robbed.
No, that's Mexico City, bro. That's a good place.
With that said, let's stay on the topic.
You're such a jerk.
Canelo a little bit longer. Also, this past week, Eddy Reynoso says Canelo will be the #1 Mexican boxer ever when he retires.
Oh, I thought he said if he retired right now.
No, when he retires.
When? All right, there you go. Big word.
Let's hear what Eddy has to say. This coming to us from Dan Ambrose, Boxing20news24.com, the only news source that seems to update their news. By the way, I was going to use Fight News today, but they're not even updating really that well either. What's up with all the websites, Andrew?
Got lazy. A lot of the guys just push what the PR are pushing on the emails, right? I seen a lot of websites turn to that.
Why are we being more lazy, bro? I don't want to go out on a limb here, but can't we be lazy? What if Canelo is among the top 10 fighters that Mexico has given? The day you retire will be the best, said Eddy Reynoso on his social media site. He has a social media site? I don't picture that at all. Does he go on to say, These are the Mexican fighters that Canelo will be measured against. Oh, so that's it? So we're literally basing this on one quote. What if Canelo is this is all he said. What if Canelo is among the top 10 fighters that Mexico has given ? The day you retire will be the best, said Eddy Reynoso. That's what he said. So this bro, Dan Ambrose, who sounds like a white guy, dude. He does. I hate it. White guys can't write boxing. They just get fat. So
wow, the guy has Chavez Jr. over Salvador Sanchez. Think that's a type error.
Morales, Marquez, Barrera, Oliveira, Lopez, De La Hoya. Why is De La Hoya on the list?
De La Hoya should not be on the list, and neither Mikey, I think, was born in Mexico, so he can cross over. He could jump back. But Oscar De La Hoya was not.
Salivar,
Oscar De La Hoya, 1, was not born in Mexico, and 2, Oscar De La Hoya is better than the next. Well, you know what? The Ricardo Lopez
would be in the top 3.
Yeah, it should be. If you're doing any Chavez Senior, Sanchez, De La Hoya, I'm sorry. De La Hoya's resume plus his skill set.
Why is Junior on the list?
Nah, he fucked up. He was supposed to put an S. That's supposed to be Chavez Senior. Yeah,
so you're saying not only did this guy write a shitty article based on one quote. It's a shitty article, Dan. I'm just calling you out on it. You fucking put Junior instead of Senior. Bro, what's up with that? That's a sleep at the wheel. Will he be the greatest? Okay, let's say he stays on his 10-fight streak, right? And he fights Triple G again, and he beats Triple G again, and Mayweather comes out of retirement and tries to get a piece of the pie, and he beats Manny Pacquiao, and the PBC collapses, and he beats up Thurman and everybody else. And is he the greatest? Does he beat Chavez Jr.? I got to say it because he wrote it.
No, Chavez Jr. he did. But
I know, bro.
No, I know you do. Salvador Sanchez and Chavez Sr., and no, I'm going to say he wouldn't have because of his style.
He'll be number 3.
He can be number 3, but I don't think he's going to retire the best. Matter of fact, Floyd would have to come back. He'd have to get that loss back somehow, Lee. Because did you see how many Floyd fans have been on the internet this week? Oh, never forget, Saul's daddy. I mean, he's never going to get over that loss. And sad that Oscar sold him out that night. Because I think if Oscar knew what he was going to become, he would never have put him in the ring so young with Floyd because he wasn't ready. He was not ready for that fight. Right now, Saul Alvarez is a different person than what he was, 5-6 years ago. So I don't see him ever surpassing, especially Salvador Sanchez, who, like the article says, was killed, cut his career short when he died in a automobile accident. I believe he was seeing his girlfriend. He wanted to show her his title, and then was trying to get back to camp, and a big rig or a tractor moved out in front of him, took him out, and that's going to be hard to get over because Salvador Sanchez is a walking legend. Who was his one loss to? Isn't it Azumah? Or he?
Yeah, I think it's Azumah Nelson.
But it's like really young, right? He's a very young fighter at this point. It's hard. And then Chavez Senior, no, fuck that. 89-0. Sorry, you're 52-1-2. You had 2 draws. You know what I'm saying? Like Chavez is 89-0. Went through 3 divisions, 6 world titles. Defended his belt 32 fucking times.
He didn't start losing until he was chasing paydays.
Yeah, no, 89-0. That's all you got to say with Chavez. Like, and then Ricardo Lopez. I mean, come on, it's kind of a knock. They have him where they have him at. Ricardo Lopez never lost a fight in his whole fucking life. 200-0 as an amateur and 50-0 as a pro.
But Andrew, please remember Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Only fought cab drivers.
Eric Morales, had a lot of defeats. Juan Manuel Marquez had a lot of defeats. Barrera, I mean, come on, these guys.
This is a poorly researched article to begin with, and it's based on one quote. I get where Eddie would say that he'd be considered. I think he'd be one of the top 10 greatest fighters from Mexico.
Well on his way. Yes, he's well on his way.
But we're in the pit of his career. I'm telling you, if somebody catches him and knocks him out in one of these fights, I'm not going to be shocked by it because he's taking high-level fights. He's going to have to adopt that Oscar De La Hoya attitude of, fuck it, I lost. He's going to go up against somebody that's going to have a formula to beat him.
Well, look, I'm going to throw a name out there that is been rumored. Maybe he's waiting. Is Andre Ward? Would you think if Saul Alvarez got put in with Andre Ward at 168? Andre Ward likes those.
Ward would knock him out. Ward is bigger. I don't know. He's a better fighter. He seems to. Ward is the only guy, and I'm not.
It's a great fight, though, right?
Yeah, I get it. And here's the thing. I don't want to sound like I'm blowing Ward too hard here, but we've said it on this show repeatedly. I think he's the greatest fighter I've ever seen. I think he might be the greatest fighter of all time because nobody's ever fucking beat him since he was a kid.
14.
Like, he's never lost a fight. How do you can't even put that into context? He's a literal, as an amateur to a pro, an undefeated fighter.
I hear you on that. It's a great fight. It's something that look, if they can't get Floyd out of retirement, you might want to throw a number at Andre. You never know where he's at in life. He didn't make a killer amount of money when he was fighting. The money that Dazn seems to have, I mean, come on, Lee, if you can afford, if you put up 40, what did they say, 49, 48 million, and you got Daniel Jacobs, Canelo, I think you could do that same number and get Andre Ward off the couch. Now, what I want to ask you, would you accept the Ward fight over the rematch with Mayweather? Say they can't get Mayweather out. If he beats Ward, does that surpass the loss?
Take the Ward fight and you hope that he's rusty. I could see his logic, and I don't think it has anything to do with Canelo. I think in Canelo's mind, legitimately, I think he thinks he's a badass and he can beat anybody.
He'll fight anyone.
He certainly seems to walk like I get his confidence level. As I look at fighters, you can see their confidence level, right? Yeah. It's not how well you fight against the big fights. It's how you fight against the small fights. And Canelo does just enough to beat everybody. I haven't seen Canelo have to turn it on since the Triple G fight, and he showed up for it. If you put him in with Andre Ward, he's got to be like the back half of that Triple G fight for 12 straight rounds. That's a big dude. That's a big dude who can move. I mean, if you get Ward out of retirement, no tune-up fight, right? This is why Floyd isn't signing it. Floyd out of retirement at his age, getting Canelo, who's doing the bare minimum and winning decisive fights, Andrew. And you've seen him turn it on, right? He loses the first half of that Triple G fight. I'm talking positive about Canelo, and this is going to come back to haunt me. Canelo's losing the first half of that Triple G rematch. He decides that he's got to turn it on midway through that fight, or his corner tells him, whatever it is. And he goes out there like a man on a mission. I'm going to hunt this dude down, and I'm going to die in the ring if I have to, right? That's his attitude. I'm going to be the aggressor. I'm going to go for broke. If I'm Mayweather, I'm Andre Ward, I'm Sergey Kovalev, that's all kinds of trouble, because what he showed in that last fight was I can also stay back and I'm fast as hell as a middleweight. Like he's really fast for a middleweight because he's fighting like a blown up welterweight. He hasn't demonstrated that he's got tremendous power yet. He's not knocking people out, which is the only reason I think he's going to continue to get high-profile middleweight fights. And that's what everybody's banking on. That's what everybody's banking on in the middleweight division. He hasn't demonstrated power. Fuck, dude, you can't hit him. It doesn't really matter if you can't catch the guy. It makes for a boring fighter, but it also makes for a guy who's now destroying weight classes. If we can get over the fact that he's not a knockout artist anymore.
If Saul Alvarez could learn how to mix it up just a little bit more, and I'm not saying every round. You know, Mexicans, they love it when the fighter pounds his chest, says, come on, bring it, right? Let's go. If he could learn how to do that, how to play to the crowd, it's going to be very hard to beat Saul Alvarez because he's going to have everyone cheering for him. He's always going to have the numbers in the stands. He can mix it up. He's got decent power.
I think that's deep down why Triple G wants the fight. He didn't get hurt. If he had gotten hurt in that second fight badly, he wouldn't want any more of Canelo. He wouldn't.
I don't think he wants any more. I really don't. I think he wants checks. but I don't know if he's really pushing it to look at. He didn't go for a title. Why didn't he fight DeAndre next? Andrade, whatever the fuck his name is. What the hell's his first name? I know Andrade. What the hell's his first name? Damn it, Demetrius.
Andrade.
Demetrius Andrade.
He's getting his own Showtime show.
Why didn't Triple G go after him right away?
I'm with you. I understand your logic.
You hear it? He going after some guy Stevie rolls and then fires his whole team. His biggest paycheck, takes one of the weakest opposition you can, and then fires everyone so you don't have to pay a damn. Because I already fired everyone. Canelo Golovkin said it. Changed the whole team. Wow.
And lastly, on this,
did he keep his brother?
And then lastly, on this particular topic, because we did not hear from her, our friend Dan Ambrose wrote a story, probably based on one quote, that Clarissa Shields commented about Canelo's win. I don't know why we want Clarissa Shields' comments. I don't know how she even generated an article. But Andrew, you're not going to believe this. Joining us on the phone, Clarissa Shields.
Hey.
He's so stupid.
That's as far as the impersonation goes.
Oh, shit, that was pretty good.
Hey, Andrew.
No, that sounded like Oscar. Now you sound like Oscar as a girl.
At the beginning, he was serving shots back and forth with Canelo, at Canelo when Canelo was landing shots. Why do we care what she said? Like,
no, I don't.
How did we make her famous?
She's the greatest. She's the greatest woman fighter of all time. Lee,
no, she's not. She's
you
not.
didn't hear her say that?
Yeah, she said that. I'm gonna stick with Mia St. John. You know why? Because I can Google Mia St. John nude and I can look at her breasts.
Oh, that is.
I don't want to see Clarissa Shields' penis. I'm just saying it out loud. That's what everybody else is thinking.
I know.
Hasn't that
gotten hot? That has gotten hot. I don't know why. People are very mean.
Mean what? She's a dude.
Yeah, you can't say that's so mean. Lee, that's not right. You can't talk like that. I don't know why the internet's so mean.
Let's go to Sergey, which is kind of a parallel string theory story. Sergey Kovalev, who was rumored by Oscar De La Hoya in a drunken rage to be fighting Saul Canelo Alvarez, because that's probably what it was. He got drunk dialed. He drunk dialed Dan. Could you picture that?
Hey, Dan.
And Dan knows, it's like probably in the middle of the night.
Bro. Dad, I got cheeseburgers. Dad. What's up, Dad? Fuck yeah. Woo. Guess what? Write a story. Okay, this is funny. Okay? Write it? Okay, listen. What if Canelo fought, you ready? Sergey Kovalev. Put that out there.
Dan's looking at his phone. His wife, who's debating killing herself because she married the fattest man on the planet. It's like, is that Oscar again? I picture her as a very large woman, too. I don't know. Sergey Kovalev is fighting Anthony Yarde next, and it's being planned for June 29th in Russia on ESPN. This coming to us from Charles Brunn of BoxingNews24.com. Kovalev versus Yarden will take place on the same day as the June 29th fight between middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade and Makik Sulik. Shamalama Ding Dong on DAZN. However, the fight will take place later in the evening or tomorrow, depending on your timeline, Andrew. I don't know how that works. If it's tomorrow in Russia, is it today here? That's the question. There are some fight fans that think that Yarde will find a way to get out of the fight at the last minute. I don't know how you came up with that assessment, Charles Brunn, because there's nobody talking about this fight. This is the only of the 3 websites I reviewed. This is the only person who put this out about the Yarde Kovalev fight. Like, people don't even care who Kovalev's fighting next. That's how bad it is for Kovalev right now. His last fight was so unimpressive, nobody wants to even put a story about him up on the web. Andrew, what do you think about Yarden versus Kovalev?
Well, that's the reason why I told you I don't think Kovalev will be there for Saul Alvarez. Kovalev did not impress me in his last fight. I thought Elder Alvarez did not show up over, partied a little too hard winning the first fight, wasn't prepared for the rematch. Looked like the same Kovalev to me. I know, they're all talking about his boxing output. Who was it? Buddy McGirt taught him how to punch instead of trying to knock a guy out with every shot. That's all great and all. You bring that feather-fisted shit to this kid, 18-0 and 17, he's going to knock your lights off. And I think Kovalev's ready for that. Kovalev's been down. He's been hurt. He's been stopped. I don't see him lasting with a young, undefeated power puncher like this kid is. So I would probably lean towards the young man, and the reason why Saul Alvarez will not be fighting Sergey Kovalev.
Andrew, joining us on the phone from an undisclosed location.
You're killing me with this. Who's joining us now?
Sergey Kovalev.
Crush or kill.
I've had all my coffee already.
I thought you were going to say Oscar again. I was like, dude, come on.
Dude, I gave you Clarissa Shields, Oscar De La Hoya. Look, what other show has this many people calling in on a single show? Jose Suleiman wants to make a belt.
Oh, this fucking guy.
I love Suleiman. I wish I had a Suleiman impression. I should probably watch tapes and work on Jose Suleiman and make him the new guy. This coming to us from Tim Reuner of BoxingNews24.com.
How much
This
money?
Is Boxing News. I just love the fact that Dillian White is getting ass raped
Fucked again.
in this whole sequence.
With
Okay,
no
for those of you who
Vaseline.
don't know the story before I read the story, Dillian White had an eliminator fight and became the #1 contender for the WBC, and Eddie Hearn was excited.
2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Yes. Then for some reason, the WBC didn't order him to be the mandatory for the WBC title, and I'm guessing that's somehow a corrupt thing that I don't even want to have a discussion about. To which point, Eddie Hearn was kind of done with Dillian White, it seemed, after he couldn't get him the fight. So basically, Dillian White got treated like used goods, but he's still under contract with Eddie Hearn. So then there was a second qualifier again for Dillian White, right? Where he had to fight to keep his #1 contender. And then this story came out today. Now Suleiman wants Fury versus White for the WBC eliminator. Before I even read the math on this story, Andrew, am I wrong about this? He's already won 2 eliminator fights to be the #1 contender for the WBC eliminator, silver champion, next in line.
No, it's totally wrong. Remember, I said they need to look at a higher court. You told me there is no higher court in boxing, and you were right, Lee. I'm hoping when you read this, we're going to get a little clarification on what Eddie Hearn is going to plan to do.
I'll bet you we don't, Andrew.
Yeah,
I'll bet you this is Jose Suleiman going, fuck you all.
Maybe the media should start blackballing Suleiman at big events.
The media is us, Andrew. Based on my looking at
we're not
other
at big events, though. We're not at big events. We're not putting out news from major fights. We're not getting quotes from these men.
Near as I can tell, most of the news is legitimately just made up. I mean, that's somebody reads a rumor.
There's guys still out there hustling. When you're in fight week, you see there's guys
outside
out there.
Of Dan Rayfield getting drunk calls from Oscar in the middle of the night. I mean, what can you trust? You're telling me Eddie Hearn doesn't have speed dial of one of these guys?
You put me out there. I'll get you stories. There's hustle out there.
All right. Suleiman wants Fury versus White. Everybody get out your Steven Espinosa calculators, because we're about to hear Mauricio Suleiman explain to us why his crazy ass math is the best math. Here we go. This by Tim Reuner, BoxingNews24.com, Andrew. Visit BoxingNews24.com. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman says he's interested in ordering the #1 WBC Dillian White to fight #2 Tyson Fury to face each other in a final eliminator match to determine a mandatory challenger for the WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. However, White's management haven't agreed to resolution from the WBC. Suleiman said to The Boxing Voice, they want White's next fight against number 10 WBC Oscar Rivas to be the final eliminator to earn the mandatory position to face Wilder. I don't even understand the math right here, Andrew.
I know, he's already lying. No, the boxing scene should have said, what do you mean? I thought the final eliminator was his last fight.
Let me explain why the boxing voice is getting all the interviews. They don't ask the follow-up questions, Andrew. They're just going along with it.
Maybe.
Dude, they're getting everybody on their show. I'm going to have to start asking for interviews. But the minute we start dropping hard question number 2, which is, bro, this is bullshit. You've been yanking the chain on White. Why aren't you just making him the mandatory challenger?
It's not even yanking anymore. They're just fucking the dude, man, with no Vaseline.
Right.
Literally, I mean, like, fuck you. How about another title eliminator? How about that?
How about that? Wait, we'll give you a belt. We'll make a belt for you. You'll feel better.
Yeah, hey, no shit.
Right?
He's gonna
That's
get
what
a
he
belt
does.
made. You're right.
We'll get you a belt made. Shut up and get paid. Fury's new co-promoter at Top Rank likely won't agree to letting him fight in a WBC eliminator against White. Top Rank has the 30-year-old Fury scheduled against a soft opponent, Tom Schwartz, 24-0, 16-0 on June 15th on ESPN. Top Rank is expected to match Fury against another weak opponent later this year and then look to put him back against Wilder in the first quarter of 2020. Top Rank likely isn't going to play along with the World Boxing Council and have Fury go through White to earn a second shot against Wilder because they don't need to do that. So, based on this, Andrew, do you think it's Suleiman fucking Fury or fucking what? Based on the way this is written, this is fuck Fury.
No. Wyatt has been a contender, the number 1 contender for 2 years. The ball stops there. All right. He's already done 2 eliminator fights. He won them both. This is bullshit, man. Like, it's not even the Derek Chisora 2018. That was the big knockout. Look at that. Right. White instead fought Lucas Brown, Joseph Parker, and Derek Chisora all in one fucking year. What more does he have to do? Oh, wait, Tyson Fury now too. You need 4 fucking fights to get your title shot?
Why doesn't, here's my thing on Suleiman and why everybody's going on the boxing voice. If he was on our show, my next question would be, so the WBC just doesn't want to fight Eddie Hearn's guy. Like, why?
No, he doesn't want to fight Al Heyman's. This is Wilder. Wilder's Heyman's guy. Why are they protecting Wilder from Wyatt? Is it because if Wyatt wins, Hearn now controls the wealthiest division in sports?
Right.
Ha.
I said it at the time of the fight. And I said it at the time of the fight for the eliminator. That's the only reason Eddie Hearn is backing Dillian White. He wanted him to be the number 1 for the WBC. He wanted to put him into a position. He sold White on the concept of, you're going to get a shot at, Deontay, and then I'll get you right in against Anthony Joshua for your big rematch.
Get the rematch with Joshua. Why not? It's a great plan.
It was an excellent plan. The problem was Al Heyman and Mauricio Suleiman.
They got a good relationship, probably because of Floyd. There's something else working here. It definitely ain't the power of Al Heyman. Does anyone understand Al Heyman's first 2 pay-per-view fights those fighters are now back on free television? Fucking Deontay Wilder's fighting on Showtime in his next fight. And Errol Spence's next fight is going to be on Fox. When does that happen, people? When do you go back?
I'll tell you how you go backwards. It's
no one bought
the numbers. It's when you don't release the numbers to your fight, Andrew.
Nobody bought. Nobody's buying into that.
The IBF also wanted White to fight an eliminator against Kubrat Pulev, but White didn't take that fight either. Pulev would have been a winnable fight for White. Instead of Pulev fighting White, he fought Huey Fury in an IBF title eliminator last October. He easily beat him to earn the mandatory position to face off IBF heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. Was this a mistake on White's part? This sounds like a propaganda piece too. I think White's the dude who's getting his chain yanked. He had a good plan a couple of years ago with his promoter, Eddie Hearn, We're going to put you into the position. It's an eliminator fight. You're going to win that fight, and Deontay won't have a choice. Then Jose Sulaiman basically steps in, right? He pulls a Thanos and snaps his finger and said, you're not the number one contender. You need to fight the number one contender to be the number one contender again. What are you talking about? That doesn't even, like, the shit that they have done to Dillian White. I can understand his frustration and think it's Eddie Hearn. It's not. It's Sulaiman and Heyman protecting Deontay Wilder. All you Deontay Wilder fans, I don't know how you guys don't see this.
Everybody. He ducks everybody. He ducked Fury. He ducked Joshua, and they don't even want Dillian White. Serious. Kawanaki, Brazil.
But it's in the family. But they're in the family. Who's the other one?
Hey, who's that? Ortiz. You fucking B class. B Street. That's the B Street gang.
Right.
I'm telling you. All of you PBC guys are the fucking B Street gang.
And he'll take Joshua at the end of the run of those 3 fights. He's never going to fight Dillian White. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. He's going to take 3 fights with PBC guys, right? He's going to take 3 PBC fights, and then he'll fight Anthony Joshua and cash out on fight number 4.
I don't think he's cashing out, bro. I don't think that Joshua and them are not going to need a 36, 37-year-old Deontay Wilder who's beaten all B-level fighters. Dude, it's not. If Joshua gets Fury and is in this next 2 fights or whatever, if Fury and Joshua say, you know what, fuck it, we'll fight each other, we'll just do it. They don't need Deontay Wilder. Joshua is going to be so far ahead of Deontay Wilder. He already is.
Well, and he is.
He already is.
He's young, too. What is he, 28, 29?
Fighting
30?
Dominic Breazeale on Showtime is getting you no world coverage. Fighting Kawanaki, Adam Kawanaki. What is that guy? Kawasaki? What the fuck's his name?
Kawasaki. I like
fucking
Kawasaki.
Fat little Poland dude. Where is that getting you? How is that translating into millions more? And then you got the what? 50-year-old Luis Ortiz by then? It's a joke. They're all a joke, man. Hey, like I said, I don't know how Heyman taught. You know, it's this fucking calculator thing, whatever you got. He's lying to these guys, though. He really is. And Wyatt's had a hard 2 weeks, man. This guy first gets called a fucking slave by his promoter,
right?
while he's sitting right there. Then he goes to his meeting with the WBC and gets dicked again. It's terrible what's happening to him. He looks like a good guy.
Staying on the topic of Deontay Wilder, Dominic Breazeale has bigger plans and intends to be the spoiler. I like the fact that he's got the confidence. Dominic Trouble Breazeale says he wants to impress the fans next week by knocking out WBC heavyweight champion Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder on May 18th. Breazeale will be getting his second shot at a world title in the last 3 years and says he wants to make sure that he doesn't make the same mistakes he made against Anthony Joshua. Breazeale said, I've learned a lot in that one loss I had against Anthony Joshua. I've learned from my entire professional amateur boxing career. Breazeale isn't saying what he learned, but it's likely to do with him making sure that he remembers to throw punches in the fight. Who wrote this? Good for you for saying that. There's no comment. Oh, Mark Eisner. Good for you, Mark. That's a great line. Kudos for that line, bro. It's the best piece I've read today. That's the one thing that Breazeale failed to do against Joshua. Breazeale, 33, was knocked out in the 7th round in that fight, and he was never able to get untracked in that match, which took place in front of a large crowd, pro-Joshua crowd, British boxing fan in the O2 Arena.
Lee, do you know in the box rec, Dominic Breazeale is one rating higher than the replacement of Anthony Joshua? Serious, people, go look at it. The replacement to the unified champ is one notch below this big Showtime Showtime event happening here. The big heavyweight fight. Not a big heavyweight fight. Joshua's fighting a guy right under him as a fucking replacement. Oh, you guys are.
And this is pay-per-view, right?
No, it's Showtime.
They're not going to be dumb enough to try pay-per-view.
You guys are not the A side. No, they're not dumb enough. Lee, I just told you. Their last 2 guys The only one who's going back to, and you know what? I highly doubt Thurman Pacquiao is going to be pay-per-view. And that will be all three of fucking Al Heyman's pay-per-view fighters going back to free television their next fight. I'm dead serious. I don't think Thurman versus Pacquiao can be pay-per-view.
Staying on the heavyweight division and pounding through it, Jonathan Banks back on May 6th. Keep up with the timeline, Andrew. Vladimir Klitschko is not coming back, period. Trevor McIntyre wrote this piece for Boxing News 24. Former heavyweight world champion Vladimir Klitschko won't be making a comeback, according to his old trainer, Jonathan Banks, who said he spoke with him and he doesn't believe he's serious about returning to the ring. Banks says he thinks the 42-year-old Vladimir Klitschko is playing on the emotions of the public.
Listen, if their numbers are that bad in Germany, it might not be a bad idea to try to get Klitschko off the couch. Right, Lee? Right, Ned?
I understand floating out the offer and trying to see if it would have worked. I mean, he got most of the media to bite on it.
They offered him 60. He wanted 100, and that's where the ball stopped. I'm dead serious. Oh, he's not interested. Yes, he was. He counter offered in the media. He was damn there. He was interested, but they don't have another 100 million to give to Klitschko. Because Lee, I'm serious. Do 30 million homes watch it in Mexico? Probably not. Do 600,000 people watch it in America? Probably not. If Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, or Anthony Joshua's name is not attached to Klitschko's comeback fight, highly doubt it's watched in America.
There you go. Let's go on. Daniel Jacobs is officially considering. I don't know why this keeps making stories. Have we really talked about Daniel Jacobs moving up to 168? And I don't know why he would do that, Andrew, because I don't know if there's anything at 168 for him.
He will, because he doesn't like trying to rehydration limit for the IBF title. He doesn't like that. So he's going to move up. No, I don't know. Like, what was it? His third time he didn't get on the scale the next day?
Yeah, he said after the fight, just rehydrating with water, I shot up to 170, and I definitely needed to eat beyond that. I might take my talents to the super middleweight. I'm extremely happy I was able to perform at the highest level. I still think I can have a career that can be thriving.
So he lost weight and got paid, Lee, right?
He dropped weight and got paid. And he fought like a guy who dropped weight and got paid.
And he tried. He cheated, right? He said, hey, you know what? Give me 15 million, Eddie. I'll make that weight. And when they gave him the 15 million, he's like, fuck you, Eddie. I'm
1 million
tonight.
Yeah.
It was set 173. They said he was probably 180 the night of fight. Didn't help him at all. I had him losing 8-4. Time to move up.
Moving on, and last story in the heavyweight division. For those of you who don't know, Alexander Usyk got injured. They have now rescheduled his fight. Alexander Usyk will be out of commission until August with a bicep injury he suffered in training camp for his now postponed May 25th fight against Carlos Takam, unified cruiserweight champion, and considered by many, including Lee Honish of Fight Net Radio, to be the greatest fighter currently active and pound for pound king. The two were supposed to face each other on DAZN at MGM National Harbor in Onyx Hill, Maryland on May 25th. The card is still going ahead as scheduled, with Devin Haney now going to be the main event. Tickets and refunds are available at the box office. I'm just telling you guys all that right now. You just go get it done. Usyk promoter Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing expects him to need 5 weeks of rest before he can resume training to prepare for his heavyweight debut in August. The good news is that the 32-year-old Usyk won't need surgery on his injured bicep. However, he still needs to take it slow before he returns to training. It is believed that sparring with bigger guys that Usyk is used to it is what led to the injury. Moving up to heavyweight is a big step up for Usyk, who is 6'3" and doesn't possess a huge frame like the 240-pound heavyweights in the division today.
Deontay Wilder is the same size, and that's the fight they should have went for. Says it right there at the bottom.
Why
Says
he
it
wants
right
to
there.
test the water one time first.
You fight for the WBC title, you fight for the unified title, then you're out. Hey, would he not be like the greatest fighter of all time if he just did those 2 fights and then left?
If he unifies the heavyweight division.
Came to the pro ranks and just said, what?
Right. undefeated. I don't want to break it to everybody. For those of you who still don't get this about Usyk, this is the only guy that I could compare this roughly to is there's nobody like this. He's 16-0 with 12 KOs, and he's moving up to the heavyweight division because he beat everybody at cruiserweight.
Unified the division.
Jesus. And the guy's barely on the top 10 pound for pound, Andrew. Barely. I don't understand that. I don't understand why this guy is so disrespected. It's shocking.
Cruiserweight. As soon as he goes up to heavyweight and gets a win, he'll get a lot more respect from the American media, I believe. You know, it's that cruiserweight thing.
This is
but the cruiserweight's never been an attractive division in America. It never has.
No, I get it. And he's 6'3". He's just got to put on a little more bulk and a little more weight. He'll be fine. He'll settle into it. He's young. He'll do great.
Yep.
Do we want to talk about Tony Harrison and Jermell Charlo?
It was just gross. They kissed this weekend. I don't know what the hell those two are doing.
This has been going on. Andrew did send me this photo. Why did they kiss?
I don't know, man, but you should never be that mad at a man where you want to talk in his mouth. You should never be that mad. I don't know what the hell these two were thinking. You know, I believe they're from the same gym. Maybe they met up in the locker room one time. Things got hot. Now they're like a relationship gone bad or something, right? But it was just a weird, awkward moment.
Yeah, they got it.
I mean, look, they're mouth to mouth, dude. Their mouth is. Look at that one right there. Second photo. Look at that second photo. No, that's not it. The second one.
Give me some of that sugar.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The tongue, big fella.
He's sucking on his upper lip, bro. Oh my God.
That's where it started, and then it went there. Wow.
Hey, you know how you know.
On, give me a kiss. Let's go all broke back on this. You're so tasty.
You know those
just like candy. I don't even know what to say about this, Andrew. It's so
over the top, ridiculous. Right? It's over the top, dude. Do they know how stupid they looked? Like, dude, this did not sell the fight at all. This did not. Everyone's talking about
chocolate.
They're just talking about.
Tastes just like candy, bro. I know. Come get some.
What I want to know, can we show a little video of it? Do they have a video right there?
They do.
I want to know. I'm hoping one of them jumped back, right? I'm hoping like, oh shit, bro. Oh man, I touched your mouth. My bad. I didn't want to do that. I'm hoping that's what happened.
All right. This coming to us from Fight Hype. Only got 13,000 views. In my opinion, that's low for kissing.
Man, look at it. That looks like a live conference right there. I saw one guy.
He got 13,000 views for the video. Good for Fight Hype.
Nice.
Congratulations on that many views.
Look like the only people is there.
Lot. Here we go.
Oh no.
Look at those lips. Give me some of those lips. I want some of those lips. Get close. Kiss me. Kiss me. Come on. You know you want to kiss me. Kiss me. Be a man. Kiss me. Come on. Get in there. Get on up in this. Listen. I don't like to kiss on the first date. No, you know you want to kiss me. Kiss me. Come on. All right.
Harrison wants it. There it is. Harrison wanted it. You're right. Harrison was all in them. Ugh. No. Whatever. Charlo at least backed up a little. Yeah, those two are weird.
There's all the.
That's one of the most awkward moments I've ever seen on a face-off. I'll tell you that.
It was pretty bad.
I've never seen a man talk in another man's mouth.
That'll do it. Let's quickly run the boxing schedule for this weekend to keep you guys all up to date, because we are your all-encompassing news source, and we don't get interviews like other shows. We get the best interviews. First and foremost, from Corona, California. I didn't even know this was in Corona. On Showtime, Ruben Villa takes on Luis Alberto Lopez.
Seems like a showbox.
It is a showbox card. I didn't know. I know where they fight in Corona. I just can't believe it's on Showtime. This is a really
Peter Petrov is on a show. Eesh, that poor guy. It's
right? Look at how far this dude's fallen down. He's on a Showbox untelevised card.
Yeah, that's terrible. 8
in
rounds.
Corona, bro. I can't. It's not Stockton bad. I would say it's like he's fighting in Vallejo. I think that's a good comparison. Corona's about like Vallejo. That's like saying, he's fighting at the amusement park. He's fighting over at Six Flags, Andrew. He's on the undercard. The amusement park. He's not going to be on TV, Andrew. That's pretty sad for Petrov. On DAZN, Leigh Wood takes on Ryan Doyle for the Commonwealth featherweight title. I know you're excited, right? We were talking about it all week about Doyle and Wood and the Commonwealth featherweight title. I'm excited. Are you excited, Andrew? No? Okay. Nah. UFC Fight Pass, Abraham Nova takes on Mario Esquiel.
So I got to ask you.
Lozano.
Is this the UFC's? Is this the UFC's version of boxing,
this is
or
boxing
this Roy
on the Fight Pass?
I know. Is this Dana White?
No, it's not. I don't think that. I had read a report where UFC is putting on a fight card somewhere. I saw it in passing. I didn't follow up on it, but it sounded too small, and Dana hasn't been out in the news. So I'm just gonna say that this is. The UFC Fight Pass has been showing boxing for a while. They've got to deal with Roy Jones, boxing promotion. They've got a few promotions that they cover boxing matches for. This is just a fight card on UFC Fight Pass, Andrew. It's Nova versus Lozano. Nobody we've ever heard of. I'm just calling it out.
I don't give a shit. No.
Locally here on Saturday night.
Alan Green.
Right? But let me explain. This is in Burbank, California. Non-televised, bro.
Who is the kid from Doghouse Boxing who got way too big?
Alan Green.
Oh, I forget his name. Doghouse Boxing tried to become a promoter, and Alan Green was his first fighter. And I lost him I believe $1 million payday.
I'm gonna explain this and why this card's not gonna work, Andrew.
Undercard.
Do you see any Armenians on this card? They're not going to sell a single ticket. Not a one. And by the way, for those of you who think I'm being over the top about that sentence, I am not. Where do you think Vanis Matrosian is from? London, not televised. Hollywood, Florida, not televised. And Philadelphia, not televised. Shit. Sunday,
there it is.
On ESPN Deportes. And ESPN. It's on Sunday, Andrew.
I told Bob's been doing that. He's been taking the day all to himself. Miguel Burchell, most underrated fighter in boxing today.
Against Francisco Vargas. It's a rematch for Burchell's WBC junior welterweight title. I like this fight, Andrew. I do.
Burchell should be fighting Vasily Lomachenko if no one else wants to fight him. You don't even hear them guys talk about Miguel Burchell. This is coming from a man who fights in a country that can bring 30 million views to one fight. They don't even want to touch that kid.
Navarrete versus Dogbo on the undercard for the WBO junior phantomweight belt. And
this is a tough fight, Lee. I would look at the Navarrete upsetting Navarrete upsetting Dogboy again.
Dogbo is funnier. Dogboy is funnier. Yeah, I'll probably be watching this all day on Sunday. I'd like to see.
Look at it. PBC's trying to fuck with Bob.
Yeah, right. And on the same night, at the same time on Fox. So we're gonna see Fox go head to head with ESPN and again they're gonna be competing against the NBA, who will be having final matches on Sunday in a couple of those games, Andrew. So we've got Jarrett Hurd taking on Julian Williams, so Hurd can try to get back his title. This is the rematch, right?
Jarrett, no. You're mixing them up. The last two that were just kissing, that's the rematch.
Oh, okay.
Jarrett Hurd. And actually, Charlo's already beaten Julian Williams. That's his only defeat is to the one, Jermell
So
Charlo.
Hurd Williams. Do I actually care about the IBF, WBA?
I like Hurd. Hurd's legit. Hurd's like a man. He's like a Keith Thurman before Keith Thurman turned into this little diva, right? Jarrett Hurd kind of sticks to his own. He's been fighting all the guys they put in front of him. Fought Erzurlandi Lara. That's a big plus for him right there. It was a close fight, but he still did it when all these other guys have been passing on Lara.
Why on Sunday? Why on Sunday?
I don't know. That is a good question why both of these guys went on a Sunday. I know Bob was doing it because
I know why the PBC did it. They're just doing it to fuck with Bob, or Bob's doing it to fuck with them.
Well, Bob was doing it first.
With somebody.
Well, maybe they don't want to fuck with Dazin. How about that? Maybe Dazin, they're scared Dazin's going to take too many
card
views.
On Saturday
sucks, and it sucks. I know that, but I'm just saying, Bob switched to Friday and Sunday a lot when this new app started, because you have this app and you got PBC sometimes going on the same day. You throw in Bob Aaron, you throw in 3 boxing cards in the same damn day that are all supposed to be mainstream. That's a lot of boxing.
About Sunday. Look, on paper, if I got my computer going, I got my app going, and I got Fox going, right? I'm pretty happy about this. I'm probably, I'll call it. And for those of you that are FNR regulars, I'll probably be on and watch this card from the bottom up, because this won't, they're not going to televise the bottom end of this card, Andrew. It might be on Facebook, but the reality is this is where it's actually going to pick up on TV, right? You're going to put Karabov on, you're going to put Barrios on, and then the main event. That's what's going to make prime time. They're going to show 3 fights because they'll have Fox prime time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. Like, that's a good Sunday. Plus, you've got the finals, right?
Miguel Burcho, Francisco Vargas could be fight of the year. The first one was a candidate, so you also have that angle. Bloody, bloody mess.
I'm actually excited. It should be a good Sunday of boxing. Thank you to Dan Rayfield for compiling all that, or his assistant, or however that works. I want to believe that Dan still pulls his own stories. Like, there's got to be something redeeming about Dan.
He has to. He ain't that big. Boxing ain't that big in ESPN.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Did we cover everything finally? Go to fightnetradio.com. What a day, Andrew. Boy, did we catch everybody up. Go to fightnetradio.com. Better hurry before somebody calls in. I'm feeling the coffee kicking in again. All the different ways you can listen to the show. If you're not happy with the way you're listening to the show, find a better way to listen to the show. With Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio being probably the 3 easiest right off the top of my head. Check out the merchandise store. I haven't pushed that one in a while. You want to buy the basic bitch. Andrew and I have decided we're not, well, I made a decision. I didn't really consult Andrew. I got to be honest. And we have the basic bitch. I thought it would be better from a marketing standpoint, Andrew, to make a basic bitch. We make 10 cents on each shirt. They are the cheap ones in the pile. And that's just because we wanted to see our shirts show up at the fights. They're $17 a piece. They're just really simple. They got a logo on the front, nothing embarrassing on the front. I think they're pretty cool. It's almost summertime. Get the tank top. I think it's $16. Yeah, it's $16.50, Andrew. I think we make 40 cents per shirt, 50 cents per shirt. I haven't put it in the title. We make 50 cents a shirt. Get yourself a tank top. So you've got yourself a Fight Net Radio wife beater. That's what I should have called it. Fuck. Why do I think of all the good marketing after I've come up with the name? Is it Basic Bitch or Fight Net Radio wife beater? What do you prefer?
Oh, jeez.
Really?
Probably gonna
Is that burned out at the end of the show?
You say you're a marketing guy and you want to name it wife beater, huh?
I didn't come up with the term wife beater. That's long before us. The most popular shirt by far is the FNR Supreme shirt. This is a dandy, Andrew. The Mike Tyson Supreme Fight Net Radio tank top. Sport that one around at your next boxing event. Push the merch, Andrew. Push the merch. We get higher returns on those shirts. And of course, the Space Force shirt and the classic, as we like to call it. And I guarantee it will get people to stop and talk to you at a fight. The Hello, my name is Shamalama Ding Dong t-shirt. You wear that to a fight, I guarantee somebody's going to say hello to you. Are you down after today's show, Andrew?
Yes.
Why?
Am I down, you said?
You sound down.
Oh, no. I was far away. I was sitting on the couch. Sitting on the bed. I'm looking to see if there's any stories before we go, but I do not see anything.
Can I spoil anything else about the Avengers?
Oh, if you haven't seen it yet, that's your fault. It's been out for 3 weeks.
No shit, right?
Yeah. There's a certain point where you got to talk about the damn thing.
I agree.
That's why my daughter wanted to watch it. She was like, Dad, I'm like tired of telling people they can't talk about it in class. She's like, she's over there telling people to shut up, I guess. So I took her. It was good. You were right, Lee. The 3 hours went by fast. It connected everything. Junior stood up for the whole damn movie. That was surprising. And then
Did
at the
you
end,
cry at all during the movie, Andrew?
No, I didn't. I'm 39 years old, Lee.
I'm 51. I cried. What are you saying?
Yeah, you got problems. You're a lot more confident than I am, I guess. Isn't that the
They
term
killed
for
Natalie,
everything else?
dude.
Yeah, she killed herself. Didn't know if Disney should have done that. Kind of glorified suicide right there. Everyone's like, oh, I want to die. No, I'm going to die.
So
no, I'm going to
Cap
die.
takes back. Okay, so here's the question: if Cap takes back the stone, do you get a soul back when you give the stone back?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I've been thinking of
He's got a solo movie coming up, by the way.
Yeah, then also they tell you in the movie that if the stones go back to the original times that they were taken, it brings the future, it will set the future back to normal. So then why isn't Tony Stark alive where they left him with his daughter and wife in the cabin? Why doesn't he go back there alive? If the stone is returned in that time, he should have returned in that time. So I don't know.
Why is it that when I read boxing stories out of order, they make less sense than when they're in order? Huh? Work that one out.
Yeah, I don't know.
And here's the bigger question. If Dan Rayfield eats at a buffet out of order, does he get admonished for not eating it in order? Just thought.
All right.
Can I get in more fat jokes or buffet jokes? By the way, I just got a note from the gym, Andrew. Our new prospect showed back up and trained tonight at the gym tonight. He was not told to do that. I said, just go and train, get yourself into shape. I'm not going to push you for a week or so. Showed up on his own tonight and trained.
Good.
I'm very excited about our guy. We'll be talking about it more next
teach him the jab, Lee. Teach him.
He's going to have a big ass Fight Net radio on his ass when he fights.
Just teach him the jab. He'll be fine.
Lee Honish, the promoter. I'm going to get a cigar and I'm going to go to a thrift store and buy 70s suits.
The jab can break a man down.
I agree. We actually had him spar with a heavy bag last night because he looks like Anderson Silva. Dude, he's got a long range kick to the head. Brutal, bro. Guy's into kickboxing. Can't wait. Very excited.
All right.
Go to fightnetradio.com, visit the merch store, watch the videos, check out why we have the highest exposure numbers in boxing right now, which is completely an accident on my part. I'd like to tell you I planned it that way. Didn't mean to, but it's still rolling along. We're getting plenty of views on all of our stuff. We'll break down a few of these more interesting pieces. For those of you who want to see actual video that just listened to the broadcast, that's Andrew Labouche. My name is Lee Honish. It is a fantastic boxing weekend. On Sunday, if you go to Fight Net Radio and you want to join in on our chat room, I can't speak for Andrew. I never know if he can watch or not. He has so many kids. You never know. I will be on. I will be chatting with our regulars. Shout out to Callie and Josel and Javier. Hopefully Javier will drink. He is much funnier when he drinks. I'm just saying the shit he throws out during a fight is hilarious. Paul Cuff, the rest of the boys. I think I've covered everything, Andrew. Is that a complete show for you?
Yes, I gotta go.
All right, everybody. We'll see you Sunday morning. Everybody have a good boxing weekend. Thanks for listening. Okay, now do it. Say Fight Net Radio. Say boxing is stupid.
Hi.
And I'm actually okay. You ready? Say boxing's stupid.
Boxing's stupid.
Don't listen to Fight Net Radio. My dad's number one.
He's putting up the number one sign.
Close enough. I turn that back on for all of you when he's older. We'll play it back. Yes.
All right, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Who's your best fighter? Who's the best fighter of all time?
Goodbye.
Say Canelo.
Okay, goodbye.
Fight Net Radio. FightNetRadio.com. Fight Net.